Hi, Skip here again. Hey, I hope all is going well, whatever you're doing. If you're catching this video in the morning or evening or whenever it is, you know you're in a good position, you're healthy, and you're ready to dig in and make something happen. You know, there's the subject of online marketing and what you do online to make things work can be long and deep and technical, and you can really get into the weeds on all of this. But I want to kind of bring to you a thought that I think is really critically important, and you don't hear enough of it. The thing, you know, what is the thing that you can do that's most important to promote online success? What is it that you can do to ensure long-term success in online marketing? You know, I've talked in the last 9-10 years to more people than I can count, more business people than I can count, all of whom want to succeed on some level, and most of whom have websites and they've done various things to try to extend their business beyond what they do. And most of these people have been people who do events and whatnot. They've got a product they're very proud of. It might be a product they created or whatever their circumstance, but whatever their circumstance, they want to succeed. And so they throw up websites. This is one of the topics that you'll hear me talk a lot about, but maybe in this particular video a little different perspective on it. But they throw up websites, and most of them are disappointed in the results. There's a handful that get some sales on it. Most of the sales that they get off of those websites are nothing more than sales that they have from existing customers. And that's not all bad. That's not wrong. That's nothing wrong with that. But they have greater expectations than that. They don't know how to move beyond that. The reality is they're stuck. And they're stuck because they didn't take care of some of the things that need to be taken care of up front. There's things that you need to do before you can launch all the details of putting up a website or launching an online business. And some people think that launching a website is the primary thing it takes to launch an online business. It's just not true. It's just not the way it works. Now, is it a part of it? Sure. I mean, there's websites and other online tools you can use in the process of building a successful business. But if that's where you're starting, you skipped some of the most important parts. And I want to share this with you because, like I say, there's so many people that get ahead of the game. You can't put the cart before the horse. They get ahead of the game and they do all this stuff, and they get involved in the technical, or they pay somebody a lot of money to do a website, which they should really take time to learn how it works themselves so they got control. Better, less expensive. Whatever you do, know this. It's going to take you time. And it's going to take you money. Now, the more time it takes, I mean, you have a learning curve. That's not all bad. If you spend a lot of time because you don't have very much money, and by the way, if you don't have very much money, it's likely going to take you a lot longer, more time, to acquire everything you need to move forward and put things in place and do effective marketing and that kind of thing. If you have a lot of money, then you can buy some of the resources that you need, and you can move forward usually a little faster. All that's true. But let's take that aside for just a moment, because not even that is the most. You see, you'll accomplish everything you need. You'll get all the resources you need. You'll get the websites and the other tools, the capture pages and email systems, and you get all of that if you start at the beginning. I love the great quote, you've heard me say it a number of times, from the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People with Dr. Stephen Covey. You can have that's another one. Begin with the end in mind. I started to quote Zig Ziglar, who says you can have anything in life you want if you get enough, if you help enough other people get what they want. And that's also important. But I digress for just a moment. You have to start out with the idea that this is something you want, that you're willing to do what it takes. And you have to have a really concrete reason why. What is it? What is it that's going to change? What changes or improves because you push forward? How do you benefit? How do the people around you benefit? What is it that's going to change your life should you acquire certain things? Should you achieve a certain level of success? What does that look like? What's your life look like when that happens? Are you now in a position where you have choice? And if you have choice, then what do those choices look like? What do you really want out of life? What's your primary motivation? And your motivation can be anything on the planet that makes you say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it for the sake of someone. You know, I do so much for the sake of my wife. I want to succeed. I want us to succeed. I want to see certain things. And so I hold that as one of the things that I hold dear. You might do it for whatever the reason, but have a reason. And that's so important. You got to have a reason for what you're going to do. Now, if you have a reason, then you need an image. You need to have an image of what you're going to do. Let me just give you a quick example. I don't know if you've ever heard of a dream board. This is an example of a dream board here. Now, when you look at this dream board, and this I just put this together randomly. It can be anything, but understand this. Now, on this dream board, you see, a car, an SUV, and an RV, and you see different scenery of different places. Well, that might be part of your big goal. But here's the thing, that it's not about the RV or the car or the places you go. Now, are those elements? Sure they are. But if you've got a goal of having a new car or having an RV or of traveling, you don't have enough. Those are elements. Those are markers along the way. But that does not necessarily speak to having achieved what you wanted to achieve that would change your life and perhaps the life of others. That's not enough. If you acquire these different bonuses, if you will, these markers along the way, that's great, and it shows progress. But you don't make the progress unless you clearly define what it is you want. You know, the primary buying motive across the board, when people go and buy anything, they're willing to invest in something, is they're buying what they're buying to achieve an end result. You've heard me make this description before. People don't go out and buy screwdrivers because they just want a nice collection of screwdrivers to show off. Reality is when you buy a screwdriver, you've got a task to do with it. Well, the completion of that task becomes the reason why you wanted the screwdriver. You buy the screwdriver as a solution to achieving that end result, that thing that you have been pictured in your mind. That's what's going to happen. That's the end result of it all if you got the screwdriver to carry that out. So all those markers and all of that are nothing more than solutions to arriving ultimately at that place that says now you have a complete end result, and you have, again, a million times, I'll mention in every video, choices. You want the freedom of having choices in your life and not restricted by the fact that you can't do this and you can't do that, and you're disappointed because you didn't really ever take the time to pursue this or that. I hope I'm making sense to you. But it's so important. And I don't want to belabor this point, but I absolutely guarantee you, we understand the data very clearly states that 96% of the people who make the attempt online simply fall short. Now, they may not have failed yet because they haven't quit. When they quit, that's when they fail. But as long as you don't quit, you might be making progress, but you still have not achieved what you set out to do. 96%. That leaves 4% they're going to achieve what it is they set out to achieve. Do you want to become a 4%er? Are you dedicated to your process and do what you have to do to become a 4%er? Are you going to learn what you need to learn? See, this is the other thing. Mindset is everything. You have to have a mindset that, like a dog on a bone, you're not going to quit. You're not going to give up. You're going to do what it takes. And here's where the learning curve comes in. You have to be willing to learn. In order to affect change and progress, you have to be willing to learn. And if you don't open yourself to learning and going through that process, you're going to come up short. You just will. Now, when you put yourself in a position of saying you're willing to learn, that means you are undoubtedly, without question, you are going to have frustrations. Period. They're there, they're part of it, it's part of the growing experience. Frustration is a beautiful thing. Frustration means you're engaged in something, you're in a process, it's maybe giving you some resistance, but when you fight through that resistance, there's tremendous gain on the other side. You learned something, you grew, you gained a knowledge you wouldn't have otherwise, and you've achieved something in the process that brings you closer to that reality that you ultimately want, that end result. Frustration is a good thing. You kind of have to embrace it, hang on and for the ride, and understand that there is something awesome on the other side of frustration. So be willing to face those things. Be willing to engage and get some education you need. Surround yourself with positive people. Read some positive material, books and whatnot. There's a great video Well, there's a bunch of them, but Think and Grow Rich. It's in video form as well as a book. The Strangest Secret, great video on YouTube. Look it up. You really learn a lot from it. There's a lot of that kind of thing that can help encourage you along the way. So don't give up. Be encouraged. Fight the good fight. And start out whatever it is you want to achieve with a mindset that says, I'm going to do this. I am not going to let anything get in my way. I am going to be open to learning. And I'm going to take action. These are consistent with all the 4%ers that have made it. Are you afraid of failure? Well, I tell you what, the 4%ers that have really made it in life will tell you, the majority of them will tell you they failed their way to success. You can fail at a particular project. You may have not won that battle, but if you want to win the war, you've got to be willing to face the fact that you're going to have some speed bumps along the way in one form or another, and that's all okay. If you have to fail your way to success, but stay there, hang in there, stay the course, and don't let any dream stealers tell you, well, that's a ridiculous idea, or why don't you just go get a job, or whatever people may say to you that they thinking they're doing you a favor by offering their input. They're offering that input because they don't have a dream. So rather than those who don't have a dream, rather than letting them steal yours, hang on to that dream, see it through, do what you need to do, take action on the thing, and open yourself up to learning, and dig your toes in, and just don't give up the battle. And that is what's going to, you're going to learn everything you need to learn as you go forward. If you don't know everything there is to know, and none of us do, that's okay. Just be willing to learn. Hang in there, grow, don't let the enemy get you down, and stay positive. I hope this makes a difference. I hope somebody looks at this video and says, you know what, that could be me. So take the time. I'm going to put a link to my website down here, and a link to a program that actually teaches all these things, puts it in perspective, keeps everything linear, and puts you in a place where you can learn everything you need to learn if you're willing to dig in, and like a dog on a bone, you don't give up. Okay? Fair enough? I hope I'm speaking to you. I love it when people do a like and a share. Comments are more than welcome. I've actually reconnected with some old friends through this process, and I find that to be fun. So, hey, let's do this together. I'm committed. I'm like a dog on a bone. I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm loving it. And so I want you to join me in the journey, and maybe we'll all arrive at that place where we can really say that we've pursued it, we've achieved our end result, whether what we're looking for. And it's nothing but good things from here, because we have choices. The choices that make a difference in life. So thank you. With that, I'm going to, I'll let you slide on to the next video or whatever you're doing. And I will see you again soon. Thank you. God bless.